Hello everyone, my name is Zeotrex and today we're going to be taking a look at The Batman, released in 2022, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson, Paul Dano, Colin Farrell, and Zoe Kravitz. The movie is Batman's second year as all of a sudden these riddle-based murders start appearing out of nowhere, and then Batman has to figure out what's going on. Maybe he will find something new about his family. So let's get this out of the way real quick. So let's get this out of the way real quick. Loved it. I loved the movie so much. But that doesn't mean because I love it, there's not issues. So without spoilers, let's get into what I didn't like about the movie first, which is a very little percentage of things. And that's really just not issues with like the stories or the characters or any of that. It's mostly just issues with how the film works, if you know what I mean. Kind of like sound, lighting, just things like those. It looks great. The movie looks visually great. I loved how it looked, but sometimes it got a bit too hard to watch the movie because of how it operated, not how it operated, how the movie looked at sometimes, or sometimes how pretty much there would be really bright flashes. And there's this scene where, this isn't a spoiler, where Catwoman, Selina, she goes to this like parking lot to find money and all that, and then Penguin's goons start coming up and they start shooting up the place. Very hard to look at that because you're sitting in a dark theater with essentially nothing else bright and a dark scene, and all these lights start like brightening it up. It was very hard for me to see. Assuming this won't be an issue once the movie, if I can stop lagging, when the movie comes out on Blu-ray and streaming, because then you can watch it in a fairly lit room. Not enough where you can't obviously see it. That's just another issue with movies in general lately, is that they always like to be so dark, and it's like I can't see the fucking movie. It's frustrating, really. And another was sound design. The music was amazing, and I'm not talking about like, okay, the sound design is really good itself. More so, sound mixing. The sounds where we hear Batman walking from the shadows in the opening scene, I loved it. But really, it was hard to hear some of the characters sometimes. Just two of the most important scenes, involving Alfred and Falcone, it was hard to hear them, so I couldn't understand what they were saying. If you can, please watch this movie with subtitles, because it is hard to... I didn't even understand Bruce Wayne because he always talks like this. Bruce Wayne always talks like this in the movie. And another issue that I saw was that, I mean, if anyone hangs out with Bruce Wayne, and if anyone even hung out with Batman for a split second, they would obviously figure out who he is. It's not like, oh, I don't speak in a Batman voice. He does. But it's just how he acts. He doesn't put on the rich bitch persona that he does when he's Bruce Wayne, where he's just some cocky, wine-dwelling, oh, what good heavens, let's buy 50,000 cars! And I understand this is a younger Bruce Wayne, so this is probably not how he acts, but this is a very emo Bruce Wayne. And I did see some complaints about he just doesn't have the bat body and all that. And it's like, I read somewhere that he didn't have all the muscles and abs, so he could be quicker, not stronger, which I did like. But yeah, sound design is a bit hard to hear sometimes. Not sound design, sound mixing. It's a bit hard to hear sometimes because the characters, they just talk so quietly. That's really only an issue when it's just one of the more quieter scenes. And this isn't an issue I found with myself, but an issue probably others will find, is that the movie is 3 hours long. There could be a few things cut out. but I can't really say what because like that it's all important to the film. I didn't mind the 3-hour runtime of the movie. Hold on. The 3-hour runtime of the movie. I didn't mind that because I love long superhero movies. Although near the end, I'm starting to get like drained out. Oh, God damn it! Fuck. What was I saying? Well, since I completely forgot what I was saying, I guess what was I even? Okay, so since I completely fucking forgot what I was talking about, I guess I was talking about sound mixing. I guess. Jeez, that's so frustrating. But as I was saying, the sound mixing. Not to repeat myself, it's just it can get bad sometimes. I'm not sure if that's sound mixing now that I think about it. I think it is just how the characters talk, how the actors talk. But yeah, so without going into spoilers, I liked this movie a lot. I heavily suggest seeing it, and I will give the Batman a 9 out of 10. Very high score, very high score, but very high score, but not like a perfect 10 out of 10. I want to save the first 10 out of 10 for a different movie. Very special. Spoilers. So this is the point of no return. Click off, click the YouTube sign, get the hell out of here if you don't want to hear spoilers. Or if you've seen the movie or you just don't frankly care, oh, go ahead. Continue watching. So let's see what I can talk about spoilers. Spoiler wise. There's nothing really you can spoil about the movie. Really. There wasn't like some major plot twist. There is something at the end of the movie that I do want to talk about. Hold on. Okay, so we're in spoiler territory now. Put it right there. So, spoilers for the movie. Again, where that sound mixing issue comes into play, it's actually 3 scenes. There's a scene where Bruce Wayne goes to talk to Falcone about his parents. Didn't even hear what they said because it was quiet. And then there's Alfred in the hospital. Couldn't even hear what they said because they were talking so quietly. And you could have made it a bit louder. Also, I'm not sure if this was just me. If, like, this is just me. If this is, like, an issue with the film or not. But there were these kids behind us in the theater. Then they would not shut the fuck up. They would not shut up. Every time the Riddler would even breathe, because, like, Riddler kind of breathes like Darth Vader in this movie, goes, they would just go, damn! Didn't know we had the Joker in the theater! And, oh, yeah, Joker. I'll get to him in a minute. But it's like, can you shut the hell up? I'm trying to watch the movie. I can't understand what Falcone is saying. And that's another rant for another day. Pretty much, don't go to the theater if you're going to be a jackass and just completely talk over it. This kid was brought into the theater and was like, I want my car. No, you better get that damn kid out of here. He's not ruining the Batman for me. This is Batman Day. This is the day I've been waiting for since 2020, since 2021, since this movie got delayed in 2021. I wanted to see this movie come out. You better not have that little kid be in this movie and ruin the damn experience for me. Good thing that didn't happen during No Way Him. Okay, sorry. Side tangent away. I could not hear anything Falcone was saying. I could not hear. And yeah, this is just a very quiet movie. This is just a very quiet movie, which could be an issue. Again, those kids back there kind of did ruin it for me. So yeah, suggest seeing this movie with subtitles again. I liked Colin Farrell as the Penguin. My mom didn't even recognize Colin Farrell as Penguin. I looked up a photo of Colin Farrell. That's Penguin. Loved him. Was disappointed he was not in the movie that much. Hope But I'm also not looking forward to that new Penguin spinoff because we live in a world where you make one movie and everything has to have a spinoff. Sonic's getting a spinoff. DMNT's getting a spinoff. It's like, my God. It's just so, it's annoying. Again, another rant for another day. Sorry, my throat hurts from doing that laughing. Colin Farrell, the only one I couldn't really take too seriously was John Turturro as Colin Farrell. Not Colin Farrell, fucking Falcone. And, this reminds me of Gotham. You know the TV show Gotham? At times, this is like, okay, this is obviously based off of Gotham and whatnot. Penguin doesn't act like, hi, I'm Oswald Cobblepot. Hi. But sometimes it did get to that point where it was like detective. This is a very detective movie, which could also explain why it's so quiet and all that. So yeah, let's talk about Riddler. Loved Paul Dano's performance as Riddler. Sometimes, I did find it funny, despite the fact this is what I was bitching about in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre review, where they try to make him this big influencer and all that. But I did find it funny. There's this one scene where, like, Riddler sits down. He's like, thank you guys for subscribing, liking, comment. You know, this means so much to me. And I did... that was funny to me. Riddler is serious in this movie. He will scare you shitless. But he does go over the top. And I think that's what makes a perfect Riddler. Here, they were obviously going for the much more darker take of Riddler. But there are still moments where Riddler will act how you would think Riddler would act. The jail scene where Batman is interrogating Riddler is amazing because we see Riddler unmasked, which it's hard to take that guy serious. I'm not like judging Paul Dano's face or anything, but it's this guy. He's the Riddler. He's killing people. I think that's what makes it more terrifying. Actually, is that this is such an innocent-looking face that it's terrifying to think that even the most innocent looking people could do shit like this. Almost turned off my computer there. But with the Riddler, that scene right there, Riddler kind of does go over the top. Hold on. He goes over the top, and at points it does remind me of Jim Carrey's Riddler from Batman Forever. That was really fun. He made me laugh a few times. But I think Jim Carrey's Riddler and other versions of the Riddler were just loud and exotic just for being exotic. Here, he uses the more goofy and wacky side to blend in with his insanity here. I don't think they ever said his name was Edward Nygma. I'm not sure if his name was actually Edward in this movie. But I actually didn't read, but I did hear about things from the Batman prequel novel. And he was a DoorDash delivery driver. Hits home because I am in a family with DoorDash delivery drivers. My mom and my sister do DoorDash. So pretty much he's like a Gen Z version of the Riddler, but he's actually done in a way that isn't like, oh, he's trying to be woke. I think it's more so commentating on how easy how sometimes some people could get psychopathic nowadays. Obviously some things a kid can't just do, like plant bombs around the city or all of that, but this is very much a realistic take on Riddler, and his riddles are fun. I think I solved most of them. It was really fun sitting in the theater and go like, okay, if you shine the light, it's gonna be like, it's going to say where he is, or like all that. those riddles were fun. Didn't solve the last one though. That one was a bit hard. Then, so Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, I think she did a great job, and I love how Robert Pattinson stuck to the no-kill rule throughout most of this movie. There are two instances where could be argued whether or not he broke it, but I'll get to that in a bit. When she goes to kill Falcone, because turns out Falcone is her father in this universe. Batman's like, no, don't do it. Once you cross that path, you'll never go back. And I did like that. And I know Selina Kyle and Batman storyline, love romance, is something in this movie, but I kind of felt as if it went by a bit too fast. That was another complaint that I heard, was that sometimes these characters just met, they're banging on top of the building. But at least it isn't like Killing Joke, where Batgirl and Batman fucked. That's when I stopped watching the movie. Also, my mom kicked me out of the living room, but like, Batgirl and Batman fucking, that's just no. So I might watch Red Hood instead. No, I think I should finish Killing Joke. But did like her as Catwoman. I didn't like the mask. I will say that about her, is that I didn't like the mask. I feel like if it was kind of like a Halloween kind of like masquerade cat mask, I would have liked it better. But yeah, I didn't like her mask. And the designs for the movie are very, very, I like most of them. Hard to fuck up a penguin design. Oh yeah, he didn't have the top hat, and he should have definitely had a cigar in his mouth. That was something that Colin Farrell was banned from, was having a cigar in his mouth in the movie, which was a bit disappointing considering that a cigar is kind of part of the Penguin's character. Love the new take on Riddler's design. Much Zodiac killer like. And oh yeah, so Batman's design, I love how he could take out the because I noticed he didn't really use the Batarang in the movie, but he could take out the symbol, which was something I thought of in like a 2018 Batman film, was that he can get the Batarangs from his chest. He takes out the Batarang, which is made from a gun, and throws it. So yeah, I did like that about this. I did like that. Now time for the killing scene that I mentioned. So first thing, the first time, this was debatable. It is during the end of the movie. It's during the Penguin car chase scene. Best scene. This is the scene I was waiting for the most in this movie. When the Batmobile just comes out of the flames, it's like, yeah! Woo! Yeah! Didn't want to be annoying in the theater, so I kind of did it silently. But yeah, when that happened, I love that scene. But a lot of people fucking died in that car chase. This truck just explodes, and there's all these cars. There's obviously people inside of them, and they all just explode. And it's like, dude, that's like a kill count at least 20 right there. And then there's one where it's more obvious. So at the end of the movie, there's these Riddler goons. They like dress up as Riddler, which I did like. That is kind of like a callback to one of the earlier Batman films, where sometimes the goons would dress up like the main villain. So I felt like that was kind of a callback to that trope. But here, when Batman's fighting one of the Riddlers, he hits one Riddler's gun, and that fires a bullet into another Riddler. I think he's dead. I think Batman actually killed that Riddler. And I think a few Riddlers also died in the flood, because where they're up, that kind of like collapses. All those Riddlers like tumble down and they hit the water, and it's like, yo, I think they had hooks attached to them, but like, yo, they might be dead. So, all right, let's talk about what I was going to talk about earlier, Joker. He's played by Barry Keoghan in this movie, and I'm very excited for what they're going to do with this Joker. I'm very excited because it looks like they're going to set up an Arkham storyline where Joker makes friends in Arkham. So I'm very excited for that. Some people thought it was Two-Face, but no, it's obviously Joker. You could see his smile. He says clown, and then he starts laughing. Very, very excited. Very excited. But I am kind of annoyed with how many fucking versions of the Joker we have right now. And that's another thing. I hope Robert Pattinson stays as the Batman in this fucking series. Because as soon as we get Ben Affleck, a few years later, it's Robert Pattinson. It's just stick with a Batman already. I'm sure Affleck would have been an amazing Batman if Warner Brothers and Joss Whedon treated him right. It's kind of like how Andrew, like, who knows? Maybe if they bring back Ben Affleck in a future film, who knows? Maybe he would be a much, much better Batman. And he kind of like how Andrew Garfield is a much better Spider-Man in No Way Home. But yeah, the Batman, please go see it. It is very amazing. Watch it with subtitles, like I said, just because it can get a bit hard to hear at times. I am gonna say this right now. Please, because this is a 3-hour movie, don't waste your time. Don't sit till the end credits. The end credits is just like a Riddler message saying goodbye, and that's it. It's like, just don't waste your time. It's already 3 hours long. So yeah. Anyways, this has been my review of the Batman. If you guys did enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and always stay cool. Until next time, see y'all. Ciao!